Hello.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Great. So today I'm going to talk about something that is going to be useful for those who are flying planes or copters or whatever with the plane or the pilot software and flight controllers. Again, I don't know if this will work with Betaflight or iNav because I don't use them and I really don't know how they work. I always flown with Autopilot and I only know about it. Sorry. So and this can be done with all the radios with OpenTX, not only Jumper T16. And I find this a good feature because well, this will be about logs, and I do have an SD card on my flight controller. For example, I have here an old flight controller. This is an Omnibus one, and I used to put an SD card on it to record the flight logs. But this is on the airplane itself. So and this can only be read by the mission planner. And now that I'm getting the telemetry on the radio as well from the with the help of the Yapu. Let me just switch model here. To show you. Okay. So here I have my Yapu, and this is all the telemetry data that I'm getting from the airplane, from the flight controller. And I do want to record the logs on the radio, and it is actually recording the logs. I've made a video before showing how to do it, and it's recording all the local sticks and pots changes, as well as all the telemetry data that I'm receiving on the radio from the airplane. But there is a problem. Not a problem, but an inconvenience. That's on the radio, the log file, it's always recording, even if I'm not flying. So from the moment I turn the radio on, the log starts recording. That's true that I can assign a switch to start recording or stop recording the log file, but I'm lazy. I don't want to. So what I've done is I'm grabbing the arm position, the motor's arm from the flight controller to engage the SD log recording on the radio. Because and why do I want to record it on the radio? Imagine that I lose my airplane. I just lose it. I don't know where it is, and at least on the radio, even if I don't have a DVR recording my FPV signal, I do have all the airplane telemetry stored on the radio. That's why I want the telemetry log to be stored on the radio, because I can see the last GPS position and then look for the plane. Sorry. So let's see how can we engage the telemetry. A switch to engage the log from the arming from the plane. So it is already done, so I can show you what I've done. I'll not repeat the steps, but the first thing that I've done was to create a logical switch, and here it is. I've created the L05. In this case, you can create whatever line you want, and with A being A bigger than X, okay. Then and to configure this, your plane must be turned on, and the radio must be receiving all the telemetry lines. Otherwise, you will not be able to find this ARM telemetry data when you are configuring this line. And I can show you. For example, here you have access to all the telemetric data that is coming from the airplane, but the airplane must be connected, and for you to have access all the telemetric data in here when you are configuring the logic switch. And as you see, you can use plenty of telemetric data to engage or disengage or change values on your radio, or even to activate voices, sounds, warnings, vibrations, anything you want. So let me put here ARM again. So there it is. It's not ARM minus because this will show the minimum value, and this and the plus will show the maximum value. This is not a dynamic value, this is a fixed value. So we want ARM, just ARM. And because the arming range it's from 0 to 100, being 0 disarmed and being 100 armed, I want the if armed it's bigger than 0 or bigger than 10. I've put 10 as a threshold just because of that. You can put whatever number you want here, but it has inferior smaller than 100. Okay. You can put 0, 1, 2. I've put 10 because I like it, just because of it. So if ARM is bigger than 10, it will activate the L05 switch. Alright, so it's done here. Now let's go to the next on special functions. And now the L05, which is the logical switch armed by the arming telemetric information. Once this switch is on, it will start the SD logging. So like this, I don't end up with huge log files. I just have a log file for each flight, and as soon as I disarm the motors, the log file will stop recording. So I decided to do this because, as I've said before, I ended up with a lot of log files because every time I switch on the radio, the logs were starting to record. Oh, and fortunately, it records log files by day and not by turn-on times. Luckily. Otherwise, I would end up with a lot of log files. But those log files, when you are not flying, are just useless. So I just want the log file to be recording when I'm using the plane actually. That's why I've decided to do this. So with a hard-to-pilot, when I do this for 5 seconds, the airplane gets armed, the log file starts recording. As soon as I land, I disarm my airplane or my copter, and the log file stops recording. It's just simple as that, and it's much better. It's much better like that. So that was it. One more tutorial video. Thank you a lot for watching. Have a nice day. See you in the next one.